Who am I? What characteristics define me? A lot can be learned about me through just the day that I was born. I am an overthinker, I am organized, I am a Virgo. I first became interested in astrology when I had met this girl for the first time, and she said, Taylor, let me ask you two questions and I'll guess your sign. She asked me, what is your biggest fear and how would you respond to someone who is bothering you? I respond to her questions, and with that, she says, let me guess, you're a Virgo. I was so surprised that she guessed that off of those two questions that I later went home and researched what makes a Virgo. For this speech, I researched in the Cosmopolitan article about traits of a Virgo and found out what makes me a Virgo, how I'm not a Virgo, and some new facts about me. So now that we have gone over the topic of discussion, let's dive right in. There are many ways that I am a Virgo. For example, the Cosmopolitan describes Virgos as very organized. And from what I can remember, all of elementary school, when we were learning adjectives, the word organized really stood out to me. That was my first big word that I added to my vocab bank. I realized that it did really describe me. I love to label all of my folders, organize my books in descending size order. Everything had to look perfect to me. The Cosmopolitan also describes Virgos as big overthinkers. They say that Virgos are constantly stressed because their minds are constantly running, and I could not relate to that more. My mind was running so much as a kid that I formed an imaginary friend who always came with me everywhere. She always helped me make my decisions and contemplate which were the smarter choice. I needed someone to constantly help me with every decision I was making, so I formed a friend. And I don't know if that was also just because I was a lonely only child or the Virgo in me, but that's how Sally came to be. Although I feel the descriptions of a Virgo are too accurate to me that it's almost scary, there are also a few things that do not describe me. For example, I am not a Virgo because the Cosmopolitan describes Virgos as clean freaks, which my room looks nothing like where a clean freak would live. I live in clutter. I am a big hoarder. I love to keep things that even have the littlest bit of sentimental value. So you'll see my shelves and drawers stuffed with things that a clean freak could never live around. The Cosmopolitan also says that Virgos are not motivated by self-interest. Virgos are known to put others before themselves, but I feel that doesn't describe me because I am definitely very self-motivated. I put myself before others and my needs, which is not very Virgo of me. But there are also a few new insights that I gained from this analysis as well. For one, I was reading a What Are Virgos Into list in the Cosmopolitan, and I laughed when I read the first thing on the list. It said, Googling their symptoms. And I laughed out loud to myself, to my roommate, who is also my best friend in high school, because that could not relate to me more. Every little bump or sore or bruise that I got, ran to my computer to check what I was dying from. And my friends would always be like, Taylor, it's okay. You're not dying. It's just a cold sore. And I also learned that I am compatible with Aquariuses and Virgos, which makes perfect sense to my life because my best friend and roommate now is an Aquarius, and we are both earth signs. And I feel like our earth signs really have our grounded nature together, and also in the ways that we contradict, which bring us together. And my other roommate, who I just met this year, Vendela, she happened to have the same exact birthday as me, which was crazy to me because I had never met anyone with the same birthday as me. She's very into astrology and signs, and she always tells me about how we are similar in ways and why that is, and what the Virgo in us brings out in us. I find it crazy. how the day that I was born has such an effect on who I am and the person I am today and all of my traits. If you guys were wondering what my answers were to that girl's question, it was my biggest fear is either being kidnapped or drowning. And if someone was bothering me, I would respond I would be like, can you please stop bothering me? Very nonchalant, not do much. I'm not sure how she came to the conclusion that I was a Virgo from that, but she guessed it. Who am I? If you want to find out, just look up my sign.